Good day, beautiful viewers. Welcome to another edition of Throne of Grace Bible Ministries talk show. I'm your host, Ido Sharon, and today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, the influence of social media on the youth. But particularly, we're talking about the Christian youth today. And I'm glad to say I am not alone today. I have two beautiful guests with me joining me in today's studio. They will be giving us their insight and their experiences on our topic. So to my left, I have Miss.
My name is Omomo Grace. I'm a student of Obafemi Awolowo University from the Department of Economics, and I'm so glad to be here today.
Thank you.
I am Blessing Adetunji. I am a student of Federal University of Ekiti from the Department of Food Science and Technology, and it's a pleasure to be here.
So coming into our today's topic, which is on social media, its influence particularly, I have some questions to ask. I hope you're good with that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start. Miss Grace, I'll be starting with you. Can you tell me what you feel about social media? Do you think it's a positive or negative thing in this society?
Thank you very much for that question. I would like to start by defining what social media actually is. Social media refers to digital platforms that allow us to communicate, to interact, to share ideas and information with one another without even being there physically. Now, the answer to that question is in two ways, and I'll start by saying, since we are talking about for the Christian youth now, I'll start by saying, in principle, in Christianity, social media should be a tool. Social media should not be a distraction. It should not be something that will take us away from the main message. As Christian youths, we should be on the social media space as voices to share the gospel, to shine as lights, and not to be distracted. We should not move away from the main focus that these social media platforms are tools. They are the microphone. It's an amplifier for our voice. So that's my take on that.
Thank you for that. So that would bring us to our next question. Ms. Blessing, I would like to ask you, do you think as Christians we can do without social media in today's era and age?
Okay. It's very possible. But even if it is possible, it is usually not feasible at times, because we live in a world where, online is the new main line. Right?
Actually,
we live in a world where social media is even more pronounced than even having physical meetings and everything. So we can do without it. We can do without it, because I would say that even our fathers, right, there was no social media in their age, and then I believe they did so much in raising people, because as Christians we should be about laying the foundation so that other people can also come into what we believe in. So if we are not doing that, we are not even up to par with our fathers. So even without social media, our fathers did so much in raising men and raising people of God. But if we look at it the other way, it's also very important, because there are so many people that you can reach now with social media. You cannot, for example, if you have a meeting, for example, you call a meeting and then you see about 100 people in attendance. If you put this same meeting on maybe Instagram Live, you see that people across the world, people that cannot even be there physically, they are able to even join and take part in the value you are trying to dispense. So as much as it is possible not to be on social media, it is also like Grace said, it is an avenue, it's a tool to reach more people. So yes.
Okay, thank you. So now my next question would be, how important is this social media to us today? Is it really that important? I get it in the fact that when you're trying to amplify your voice, like you said, trying to reach to people. Let's take together this Hallelujah Challenge, for example. It has touched thousands of millions of people watching, in fact. But still, how important is it? Because you cannot tell me when a teenager right now should just take their phones, there's definitely bound to be distractions. You would see sites you did not sign up for. Literally advertisements that will just make you lose interest in wanting to flow with the vibe of God. But still, is this social media really that important?
Like, to answer your question now, I'm going to say social media platform serves as communication tool. And if you check well in Christianity, it has always been about communication.
Okay.
Yeah, the core of Christianity has always been about communication. Whether you are evangelizing, whether it's an outreach, it's a sermon, a podcast, it's always about communication. So social media platforms are very important to this. To Christianity, it is very important because this platform make it easier to reach even where we could not reach physically. Now, when in the book of Acts 1:8, when Jesus said, "You will be my witnesses to the ends of the earth," this social media platform are the ends of the earth now. In those days, Peter had the opportunity to go out to people, but now we have timeline. We have the social media platform. We cannot reach everywhere. So these platforms serve as amplifiers to thousands, millions of people. A single post can go far. And then a lot of people learn about the gospel. A lot of people are inspired. A lot of people, they find a sense of belonging through this message.
Wow.
So yes, social media is very important to
Social
Christianity.
media is that important?
Yeah, so to add to that, I would say social media is very important because of the type of world that we are in now. You know, times are changing, and the devil will not say that, oh, it is the same way he was coming to speak into people's ears, you know, before. It will not say that is the same way he's going to strike now. Now, there are so many things that the devil uses as tools. So, because, like Grace said, social media is a tool. So, it now depends on who is wielding that tool and how much you want to use that tool. That's what will determine, you know, the outcome of whatever you are doing. So, now the devil will want to use social media to corrupt the minds of people, to destroy people's lives, you know, take away their joy and everything. That is why we as Christians, we cannot afford to say, oh, because social media has negative impact, we should say, oh, we are not doing social media. Because whether we like it or not, social media is there and is there to stay, like literally forever. It's even getting, you know, very crazy. There's AI now, and AI in itself is, you know, that's another ball game. But then social media is here and is here to stay. So if Christians are saying that, oh, they don't want to have anything to do with social media because they feel that it has negative impact, we'll be missing out on a lot. Because when the devil is pushing out materials that will corrupt people, we are also supposed to, you know, push out materials to edify people. And our materials should be more than theirs, so that it will overshadow and completely even cover them. But you see Christians saying, oh no, social media, there are ladies that dress naked, they don't want to. That's why we should dress modestly and put ourselves there, so that people can know that there is fashion, but you can be modest while, you know, even being in fashion. So I would say yes, social media is very, very important to Christians.
Okay, so you guys have convinced me on that topic. Social media is very important.
Yes.
But now I'm just curious, out of curiosity, is it still possible to avoid this negative impact in social media? Like, you can't tell me I would not go to a site and see something that is definitely not supposed to be seen.
Yeah. So
what do you think? Can you?
Okay, I would say the social media space, no matter how godly you are, no matter how purified and holy you are, the social media space is for everybody. So everybody will see the two sides of this, the positive and the negative.
Okay.
No matter how you build your feed or your FYP, like, oh, I built it brick by brick, nothing can enter. You know, there is something called trend. Let me tell you, there is something called trend. No matter how you build it, when there is a trend, when it hits the internet space, it's going to be everywhere. Everyone will feel it. Everyone will feel it. So all we have to do in order not to feel this negative impact, because there are a lot of them, is for us to also fill this space and put out our content, put out Christian content. There are a lot of Christian creatives now. They are drama ministers, they are singers, they are preachers, that they speak,
skit makers that are Christian.
So we just have to come on this space and put ourselves out there, and also define your purpose for being on these social media platforms. If you want to be able to control whatever effects this media has on you, you have to define your purpose. Am I there for business? Am I there for work? Am I there for sermon? Am I there for ministry? So once you define what you are there for, no matter what comes your way, you'll be able to, like, oh, this is not why I'm on this platform. So you'll be able to switch. It's not every trend you want to jump on. It's not that they will drop even gospel. Some people use it for trend.
Yes.
Yes,
There's one Bible verse a pastor says in church. Oh, Rema, you go home, everybody's ready.
Everybody's posting.
They use one sound and they post it. So you just have to be focused. You have to know what you're on that space for. Then you can go about it, and this negative effect will not really affect you personally.
Okay, so I think to add to that, I would say that firstly, if you are not grounded in God, social media is going to have like back-to-back negative impacts on you, because most times our mind is wired in a way that it receives a lot. So you can see something in passing. Okay, for example, when I stopped listening to hip hop music, I would go outside, and then in passing I'll just be on bike, and then I will hear one bit, and then I get home, and then I'm humming it to myself in the kitchen, and then I catch myself and I'm like, what am I doing? So now our minds are wired. Our mind is wired to receive a lot of information. It is up to us to filter what we want to get from what we have received. Because if you say that it's everything that is coming into you that you want to apply, then Christianity is not about I don't want to do bad things. Is you knowing that you have the choice to do bad things, but you still choose to do the things that are godly. So now social media now, as it's like it comes in seed form. Anything comes in seed form. So you just see a picture, and then it is a picture of someone, let's say naked now. People are literally naked online these days. Sure. And then you see a picture of someone, and the person is very beautiful, and then you feel like, this person is very fine, but this is not godly. I will not think that it is okay to dress naked because this person has done that and put it online. Okay, for example, now if you go to the market and you say you want to buy ofada rice, Nigerian local rice has stones inside. So not the polished one they do nowadays. Nigerian local rice has stones inside. If you get home, most times you pick the rice because you don't want to eat stone. That's why you should be able to filter with the good parts of what you get on social media from the stones. There will always be stones. There will always be thorns in the midst of the good plants and everything. But it is up to you to filter what you want, and you cannot filter what you want except you are deeply grounded. See, social media has invaded our minds so much that that you have a prayer time by 10. And then you are scrolling. This scrolling of a thing is crazy. You scroll and scroll, and then by the time you check the time, you see that it's 11:30, and you're like, but I was just scrolling, like it's just few things I watched. Okay. So it has many negative impacts. Discipline is one of the things that we need to cultivate if we want to not succumb to the negative impact of social media. Discipline is one of them. This time there are thank God for technology. There are alarms you can put on your phone now that if I stay for more than 1 hour on this app, log me out of it, and that's it for the day. So things like that, you build structures around your discipline that will actually help you to stay off social media. Because I was listening to a documentary, and they were like 90% of people using phones spend up to 4 hours a day on their phones. So if you calculate 4 hours for a week, it is like that's 4 times 7, that's 28 hours in a week spent on the phone, and that's the minimum spent on the phone. And then you see people even spend 7 hours, 8 hours on their phones. If you calculate all those hours in a week and you remove it for how many hours are actually in the week, you'll be surprised on how much time you spent on social media. Funny how social media does not really build us as much as physical, will I say discipleship or all those things build us. So if you depend on social media, oh, I follow this pastor online, he's so deeply rooted and everything, it is good. It is good to, listen to all those preachings, listen to all those people. But if you yourself are not grounded, I still feel like those are just putting seed on rocky ground. By the time the sun comes, the thing will dry. And so as much as the negative impacts are there, it is still up to us, to know what we are there for. Like we said, to know what we are there for and discipline ourselves from doing that.
With this now, with the fact that social media is actually going crazy, it's going haywire and everything, is it possible as Christian youth for us to actually stay holy? I mean, we all know the good side, the bad side. You said it takes discipline.
Yeah.
So, you would actually take measures to actually stick to your disciplinary measures and everything. But still, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not an easy feat. So, do you think it's actually possible to maintain or be, or should I just say, stay in that holiness ground? What do you think?
I would say, as Christians in the social media space, now it's very difficult to stay holy, as you have said, but it is still very much possible. And now I want to define what holiness is. Holiness is being set apart for God.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean perfection.
Okay.
So it's the state of your heart. Holiness is the state of your heart that when you do something, you know that, oh, I want to ask God, this thing I have done, is it right? If I was in Jesus' shoe, if Jesus was here, will I still do this thing? It's just about the state of your heart. It's about your heart being sacred, being set apart for God. So if you are in the social media space, it is still very possible for you to be doing anything you are doing and still be holy. And there are ways to do it. You set boundaries. Now, you know that, okay, you are on this space for probably work and ministry. You won't leave all of that and be following dancers that are creators, or be following food critics, or be following, do you get? You can't leave your main focus and follow things that are not in line with your main focus, and you expect to still stay holy. If you want to stay holy, if you want to stay pure in heart, if you want to stay in alignment, you have to stay focused to what you are actually doing on that space, on the social media space. You have to define it. Set boundaries. Okay, this is what I am here to do today. This is what I want to achieve. Do it, achieve it. Discipline is very important, because if you are not disciplined, sometimes something very little can just take you apart from God. So yes, you just have to know how to go about it and still be holy. So it's very possible.
On the aspect, we are still going to stick with that discipline.
Yes.
Okay. But now, what do you think our parents can do to this? Because most times now, you can be on your phone. It's not necessarily that, okay, you're not following sermons or anything, but you can be on your phone reading. And you said the average person spends at least 4 hours
a day.
And that, basically, in a typical African home, that's too much. What are you doing on your phone for that long? My mom technically would be like, you've been on that phone for too long, go and take a book and read. Also, irrespective of the fact that you are reading with your phone, they believe that being exposed to a screen for that long is quite brain damaging in that sense. But most times, so many people's parents don't understand the helpful side of social media. Many of them are seeing the negative impact so badly, to the part that many of them even have literally banned their children from touching phones till they get to a certain age, maybe 16. And at that age, the children are so vulnerable to many things. There is peer group influence, there is a lot of things. Somebody finishing secondary school now just gets a new phone. You can't expect the person to just start following sermons. But now, in the aspect, this is where parents come in, and I want to know what exactly, to our parents that will be watching us, what do you think they can do? What do you think their roles should be? Because they have impactful roles also.
Okay, so I'll start by saying that social media to a child, and when I say a child, I'm talking about children between the ages of maybe 0 to 17. Social media is damaging to a child. It is damaging because those ages are the formative stages of their lives. So if you hand over a phone to them, or if you hand over, you give them access to social media, I am telling you that the information they will get from, social media can lead to so many things. Now, a child, nowadays you see children on TikTok, and then you're like, what are you doing on, like, you are 10. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
on TikTok?
Like, so I believe that parents should actually curb their children from using phones. I've had people that said, oh, my child will not use phone until they get to, maybe they finish secondary school, for example. And it's not wrong. It is definitely not wrong. I think I got my first phone after I finished secondary school. And it did not prepare me for the amount of information that is out there. With a click, I can access so many things. So it did not prepare me. Now imagine you giving that same power to a 5-year-old. This child, like, there are so many things that the child will do and you will not even be able to curb the child. Now imagine if you have a smart child. That smart child will hide so many things from you. You won't be able to see all those things. They are maybe locked up somewhere or something. And then the child is going through so much, will not be able to share, and will not see, the parents will not know about it and everything. So I believe that parents should, as much as possible, curb their children from using social media until they are at an age where they can make informed choices for themselves. So if you the Bible said we should train. I will not say we should. I'm not yet a parent. But then, the Bible said parents should train up their child in the way they should go. And what is the way they should go? The way of the Lord, really. So if you train up a child in the way of the Lord, the child will not grow up and misbehave. When the meaning of the word train was looked up, it was to equip for future uses, for future purpose. So you are equipping that child with knowledge, with the word of God. Any child that is raised in the word of God will not deviate from it. Because when you've shown the child that, if you believe and you have faith in God for this, let's say, for provision of money, for example, and the child has seen, God loves to reveal himself to children. So that's why most times he answers their prayers speedily, because he wants them to see that, these things are possible in me. So now, when you've built a child that with God you can get everything you want. If you want God to provide for you, God will provide for you. If you want God to, give you this, God will give you. And even if God is not giving you now, it does not mean he does not love you. It just means he has something better for you. If you brought up a child like that, this child will not go on social media and see people that are scamming people and will want to follow their footsteps. He has already seen a sure way. This child has already seen that God is sure. So I will not say that, because all these things have repercussions. Scamming, all those things, they have repercussions. So why would I choose something that has repercussions when I can get the genuine type and, live happily with it? So when you brought up a child up in the way of the Lord, you don't have to be worried that, this child will, maybe when they get a phone, they will become so vulnerable that, they'll be, access to so many things at once will allow them to fall out of alignment to what God is saying. And then, when it comes to even doing productive things online, for example, you mentioned reading, there are novel apps now that are very, very dangerous. Some novels are worse than pornography.
Yes.
So there are some novels that, certain ages should not be exposed to. But there are no, age limits on those apps. You just say, if you're 18, just click and enter. Those children will click it. They are not 18. But then they have access to it because the phone is not supposed to, replace a physical mentorship or a physical bringing up. Most times parents leave their children to I think the cartoon is Coco Melon now.
Yeah.
They leave their children to Coco Melon and all those things, and then all those things are actually taking the place of, productive learning. You're supposed to teach the child verses, maybe give them A to Z, and then teach them about verses in the Bible. Oh, A, when you abide in God, you do this. B, when you do this. And then those children don't know all those, and then they know that, oh, a bus is driving to school because Cocomelon says that. The children are not building their brain as they should. That's why most times now you see children that you are just looking at them and you're like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, you have the tendency to be more intelligent than this, but you are not, because when they are supposed to build, those children, they were just leaving them to social media and everything.
Thank you. Okay, Grace, would you add
I would love
anything
to
that?
add to what she said. Now, for the older generation, I would say the parents have not really played active role in knowing about these social media platforms. Now, if you are to mentor someone on something, you have to first know about that thing. So I feel like parents should play more active role, should be more interested and invested in these social media platforms. You should know what is going on. If you ask some of our parents now, what's trending? They don't know. So if you actually want to mentor this youth, you have to be conversant with what is happening online, what is currently going on, what communications are happening now, what is trending, what is the trending item
What
now?
are the slangs?
What are the slangs? So when you hear them saying it, when you hear them discussing that thing, you can even chip in, you can discuss with them. And also, some parents are passive when it comes to raising their kids from small. They are passive. They just leave it to internet.
Yes.
I got him an
To
iPad, just go and watch YouTube. So I feel like social media, I know social media is not a place that you should leave your child to be trained. And also, as parents, be familiar with these platforms in order to be able to mentor them well on the things going on there.
Okay, so now we've understood what the parents should do and how their roles, in fact, impact their children.
Yes.
But what of the church? What do you think the church should do? Because the church is also trying to come up.
I'll say for the church, we do not have an option but to be on that social media space. Because if you look at social media space right now, the number of things that are there that are not defined for Christians, even with the fact that a lot of Christian individuals are there. Now imagine if all Christian individuals, all Christian creatives, all Christian pastors pull out. Imagine how toxic that space would be. So I feel like Christians should really occupy that space. The church, we can set up platforms. It can be podcasts, it can be ministries, teachings. It might just be 20 minutes per day, something like that. So we should be in that space. If we want to influence the outside, we should put ourselves there. You can't be talking about something you are not even there, and you are telling somebody. Do you understand? So, and also, Romans 12:2 says, "Be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds." I can relate this to this social media platform, because if you are going to change something, you have to be there. We should be there to renew the space. We should be there to transform the space. So we should not necessarily pull out of social media platforms. As a church, we should be there to transform the space. So when we are there, others can see us. There are a lot of people online that are confused, that are lost. They'll tell you they don't have a family, they don't have anybody. So when they see us as a church, as a family there, then they'll feel a sense of belonging. They'll say, oh, I have these people. This is my local church. This is my people. So we should be on that space as Christians.
Listen, would you add to that?
Yeah, like I said, the church should be a very, very active. That word active should be there. Participants in things on social media, because, for example, if there is if there's a worldly trend, you see that worldly trends go farther and faster than godly trends. So because we are in this generation, we can use words like trends. So if you see that, okay, these people pushes out if these people push out something, it is more like, most times, is the agenda of the devil being pushed out even more. You'll see that those type of content, they go viral fast. Content like I would say LGBTQ contents and everything, they go out fast, and then children are seeing it, everybody is seeing it, and then subconsciously it is getting normal. If you tell me 10 years ago that, oh, a man and a man, they are in a relationship, I would look at it like it's not possible. Are they mad? But now if you say it, although
some
I'm not,
countries,
I don't like it. It is something I have seen, and it is something that is becoming normalized.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
as much as the other people are pushing out agendas, the church should also massively push out agendas of the kingdom, and should be very
Okay,
Yes.
so now we've done with the church.
Yeah.
But now, onto one particular question, which will be our final question for the day.
okay.
Looking at marriages, as youths who eventually get married,
Okay.
do you think it is right to meet your spouse on social media?
Okay. So, I said at the beginning that online is the new mainline.
It is the new
Yeah.
mainline.
So, if you are not online and you want to meet your spouse physically, then good for you. But there are other people that meet their spouses online and they are flourishing in marriage. It does not. Social media is not saying, oh, there are no good people out there. There are good people on social media. It is left to you to, will I say, it is left to you to decode because like Grace said, social media is a representation of what is happening.
Yes.
So I can be representing what I'm not on social media.
Eventually,
So
Exactly.
and then people will buy it, and then people fall in love with me, and then that's not even the real me. There are AI images nowadays.
Exactly.
I can be on this chair, and then I can take a picture, and then you see me in Paris or something eating,
Yeah.
and then I can put that out on social media, and people will even give themselves depression and everything. But that's even a different ballgame. But then, I would say that if you meet someone that you actually take an interest in on social media, it is left to you to actually have deep conversations with the person.
Wow.
Ask questions that they are not expecting. Ask questions for you to pick a spouse from social media and you want your marriage to flourish. It means you will be very smart, because I can lie to you. Be on social media, you will not arrest me, you will not slap me, you will not see me. So you can lie to someone and then they will buy the lie. But then ask deep questions. Most times, will I say, just be intelligent, really. Just be intelligent. And then the help of God, we are Christians. The Holy Spirit will reveal things to you that even the person is not saying. The Holy Spirit will, lead you and say that, no, don't ask this question. Ask this particular question at this particular time. So now, the popular example of the people that met on social media, Moses Bliss and his wife, they met on social media, and it was through a trend. The lady posted herself dancing to his music, and then the rest they say is not history, but then so those people now have modeled that you can meet your spouse on social media and it can result in something very beautiful. There are also people that have met people on social media and they turned out to be scammers, or they turned out to be ritualists, so you should be connected to the Holy Spirit, and then you should be smart to actually watch out for all the signs, because there will be signs. So watch out for all the signs. So
I would just also add to what she said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, talking about meeting your spouse on the social media space, I feel like you should not limit it to the social media space. You can as well take it out of there, because I don't want to understand the fact that you met someone on social media, after 2 months you are planning to get married, you have not seen yourself physically before, you've never met, no dates, nothing, and you just want to get married. I feel like it's not proper. So even meeting them on social media space should not limit the physical aspect. You can take it out of social media. You should meet, because nobody will put, if someone is a bad person, they won't write I am a bad person.
Online,
They will edit it, polish it, and put it there. So you're not going to know by seeing the person's profile, or the person is posting Bible text every day. Does not mean they are the one for you. So you should take it off the social media space. You should be wise. Exactly.
Actually.
You should be wise. The Bible is free now. The Bible is for everyone. Everyone can read the Bible. So you should be wise. Also, you should be spiritual. You should ask for God's guidance. You should ask for guidance from other people too, counselor, your your spiritual heads in church and all of that. You can ask for their advice too, but most importantly, be spiritual, be vigilant, and you can take it off the social media space. Do not limit it to the social media space. I met this person on Facebook. You dated for 11 months. You want to go and marry. How? The person you even met might not even be the original person. It can be the picture of his friend.
Of his brother.
It can be the picture of his sister. Exactly. So you just have to be vigilant and be spiritual and pray very well too.
Wow, we have had.
Yes.
Thank you, my wonderful Grace.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we are happy
Grace.
to be
Thank
here.
you, Blessing. It was wonderful
Yeah,
having
I
you.
actually learned a lot.
I also
learned
did.
too.
And I'm sure our viewers also learned a lot. If you did, God bless you. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for joining us on today's talk show. I would also indulge you. Please use your online presence to glorify the name of God everywhere. Don't be discouraged and do not let the negativities impact you. We hope to see you on another episode of Throne of Grace Bible Ministry Talk Show. Do stay blessed. Thank you.